Hello everyone and welcome back to LSI F1.5 EU Championship. We're today for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix Round 2, the sprint race event. We've got a bit of a drama moment immediately on stream as Tom Brainer dips a few wheels into the gravel. He has invalidated that lap time, not got one on the board, as well as many other drivers not getting a time on the board just yet. 10 minutes on the clock, a long way to go. I say that, not really, to be honest, regarding that half the grid hasn't actually set a lap. 18 drivers in today's race. It is going to be a mighty one for sure. Sprint race will give everybody second chances, of course. Becken tops the times, 14.9. We saw a 13.9 yesterday. They'll still need to find a whole second if they want to try and get close to the F1 times. Regardless, it doesn't matter if they get to the F1 times or not. They just need to try and make sure that they get pole in their own tier. We got a couple cars out on track. I don't know who's going to start their lap next. We do have Robbo, who's on a lap right now, doing a phenomenal job in Spain last time around, along with Devon Young having that crazy battle, unfortunately not working out in the end, scoring no points so far this championship. They have got a bit of work to do, and yeah, it's not what you want to see. I'm just going to quickly have to do something, so I do apologise for the delay. Zingy, what's the strategy for today's race? Interesting. Cannot hear him. I do apologise. We will carry on. Hopefully that is all good to go. Is the stream lagging now, or was that just lag of another driver? We are on board with Robbo, hopefully. There is no lag. He's got a car moving out the way. That is his teammate, actually, Becken. And at the final corner, what's it going to be for the Brit, the championship fighter in the last few seasons? It is going to be a P4, a 15.397. Granda rejoins the lobby after quite a few issues, but they are back. Hopefully there's no more lag issues. They'll get a chance to rejoin the lobby in a bit of a fresh start. It does look like there are quite a few people having those issues, but it should be okay. That is going to be Devon Young just jumping in front of Oggio. He's going to complete his lap, but it's not really going to be that competitive. It is his own lap as well. Oggio is... Ooh, that was very interesting. Those guys, I hope, didn't crash, but they just about got out the way. Oggio continues, close to invalidation. I don't know exactly what Devon Young's done here, because he is on a lap right now, but he just decided not to go for it. Gave his teammate a tow instead. A 15.3 he currently has. He needs to find 4 tenths if he wants to try and get to the top 2. It is a Swedish 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Can't hear Zingy, so it must be me lagging. It is me lagging, so I do apologise. I'm going to try and fix this issue.
Wait, so it's not me?
No, now we can hear you. I don't really know why.
I was just trying to see what was going on, because you were lagging so much, and I don't know why that was. My game seems to be fine for the most part. But
yeah, no, it is me. I do apologise. Okay, sorry. We're going to leave you on board with who's about to start a lap next. We'll leave you on board with... who's on the lap, actually? Monk. We'll leave you on board with Monk. I'll be back in a second. Zingy will be here for a minute.
well, yeah, you see Monk, he's going to go into the chicane now. This is a very tricky one. You do not want to cut it, otherwise you might go flying over the curves. Honestly, I don't know if you guys can hear him or not, but we're still going to go nonetheless. Coming into the final 2 corners, a double left-hander, brake round about the 75 metres. Monk gets that nicely into the first one. You just need to keep your car rolling through, and for the second exit you can apply the power very early and up to the line. It's going to be an improvement by 900s only, and it still keeps him P5, but he's not improved enough. Bad Monkeys is close to him than he is Robbo, so Monk needs to deliver on this final lap, otherwise he will be in a bit of trouble, especially if he can't pull it out. I don't know if there's anyone else on a lap at the moment, however you guys will be spectating Monk. Flexhard looks to be on a 3 tenths improvement at the moment. Coming into the middle sector now, you want to keep the car as flat as you possibly can. Losing the back end and coming into the chicane once again. You want to cut the first part. I do apologise for not saying that the first time. Cut the first part, but not the second part. Flexar done the complete opposite of what I've just said, and he's just invalidated because he's taken the line wrong. A 16-0 for the Haas driver at the moment. Not much he can do now that he's invalidated. He just needs to get back to the pits and hope for his sake that he's got enough time and tyres to push again.
Alrighty, sorry for the delay, guys. It looks like we're just going to continue with this for now. We might be able to get a fix. It might fix itself. There's literally no explanation for why this is doing its thing. So I do apologise. As I say, it seems to have fixed itself. It all of a sudden then decided to absolutely ruin itself. We might restart the stream just when quali finishes. So just going to have to try and make do with the situation for now. I do apologise. 4 minutes on the clock. Don't know what I missed, so I do apologise. But we still have quite a few people that haven't set lap times yet, including Devon Young.
I think just the invalidations part of the issue around this track. I mean, we've seen it in F1 with a lot of time penalties, and that might cause people to make mistakes. Devon Young's first lap time was a 14.7, and that would have been enough for P2, but he invalidated it just because he couldn't keep it on the track. And that's no insult to Devon. I say this every week. There's people who make mistakes and they're great drivers, but this track especially, you're really going to struggle with track limits if you're not careful.
For sure. Sorry, I do apologise. I'm just trying to see if I can fix anything on the screen right now. Hopefully that would do a bit of a trick. That might work out. Or it might just completely ruin everything. Right, there you go. We'll give it a shot. I do apologise. We continue. It's not worked. Never mind. I'll make sure that I get ready before qualifying finishes. Just go back like that. That should be fine. That should be better. And we should be okay. Right, there you go. That's fine. Hopefully. Alright, we carry on with Polly. Do apologise.
Devon Young again cutting that chicane just before the last few corners, and that's invalidated his lap time once again. What time did he set coming across the line? It's round about the same as he did the first time coming into the pit lane. So yeah, he would have set another 14.7, maybe a 14.6 that time due to the track evolution. So he's got the pace to be on pole. He just needs to stop messing it up every so often, and that maybe he'll actually get somewhere. But unfortunately for him, he's just making these little mistakes, and that could cost him a good chance at getting pole position in quality here.
Only got one opportunity left, and he's going to have to be really quick out the pit lane and hope that there's no traffic. Robbo goes provisional pole. That will be his lap done. Becken comes around the final corner. Can the other McLaren make it? 1-2, so close to track limits. DRS available for the final time. What's it going to be? It's going to be provisional pole. What a job there. Peanuts is on his way to try and challenge that one. We've got Monk, who is on old tyres. They will not be able to get into the battle. Will this be a McLaren 1-2? That's a brilliant lap from him right now. Peanuts, I think he might get it, but no, it's raining. It's raining.
What? It's raining? What part of the track? Doesn't seem like it's raining the last few corners.
In the last few corners, I saw a bit of rain kick in. It's just by the chicane. Pretty sure. Did I not see that? Right, I swear I saw it raining. I swear I saw it raining.
Peanuts then.
There might be rain towards the end of the sprint race. That's what I know for sure. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I'm going to look on board with Peanuts here. He's coming through the second chicane now. Doesn't seem to be any rain at the moment affecting his lap time. Coming for the first sector split as well. It looks as though he is 500s down on his lap time, so he needs to find a bit extra. He needs to find how much is that? A tenth and a half. Well, 2 tenths now to get that pole position. The two McLarens so far dominating the weekend. It looks so they just seem to have a lot of pace underneath them as we see Peanuts coming through. I think this is a very anti-outer. I'm not too sure on my Emilia Romagna. I do apologise. Coming into the chicane now, everyone's been messing this up. You need to cut the first part and then don't cut the second part. Peanuts has done the opposite of that again, and that's why he's lost a bit of time on the exit. He gained a lot of time on entry, fair enough to him, but the lack of momentum's really going to hurt him all the way down this mini straight. Coming into the last few corners, run it as wide as you can without getting it invalidated. And same for the last corner. He's done very well there, but he's going into the pit lane. He's not improving, and that is that's his chance of getting pole position over. Alkio's the only person that can really challenge, along with Monk.
Fair enough. I can't believe it. I swear I saw rain, but yeah, I must be dreaming. Jeremy, they spun up on their lap just a few moments ago. We're going to finish qualifying with Tom Brainer right now. What's it going to be for this man? It's going to be another lap actually starting, so he's backed off on that one. He'll go again. Oggio going to try and push himself up the order a little bit and do the work for Red Bull. The other Red Bull, that is Devon Young coming through turn 17. He will be first out of the two to finish his qualifying session. That is the top three set and gone. No one else from that part of the leaderboard will be able to improve. Peanuts are not getting that run, of course. Fresh tyres, but just no time on the board.
Devon Young was so close to track limits there. He's pushing so hard. He knows he needs to get a good position for the sprint race. You see, it's very hard to overtake around this track. He's purple second sector. He's going to cut the first part, which no one else has been doing at this current moment in time, and that's just giving him a lot of pace coming out the chicane. Will Devon Young get pulled? He just needs to hook up these last two corners of the track. A 90-degree left followed by another 90-degree left. Run it all the way out to track limits. Don't touch that curb too much. He has compromised his exit just a little bit. Up to the line. Is it going to be pole position? Yes, it is! Devon's on pole.
Absolutely phenomenal. The last few minutes, no lap, and then he gets it done. His teammate to P4 of 14.6. Absolutely incredible. So small margins as well. The McLaren will be in a big sandwich. This is going to be an epic battle for the lead. How about that? Tom Brainer P6, Monk P7, Bad Monkey, JJ and Jeremy finishing the top 10. He is reserve driver just for today. Hopefully he can look at a permanent seat at some point soon.
I don't know if you said that already. I do apologise if I wasn't listening. But yeah, it definitely is raining now. So Devon's a lucky boy to get that lap in at depth. If he would have done it any later, it would have been soaked. It would have been done. It would have been P17 probably.
It would have been absolutely finished. Yeah, what a shame for no one. I don't really know. What a shame for Becken, actually. That is so close margins. Devon Young on pole position, Becken in P2, and then Robbo in P3. Alright, hopefully the internet issues are all good with us. It looks like it has fixed itself finally, so I do apologise for that momentary issue. We should be good to go now. And then, of course, we will do a full lobby restart anyway after the sprint race, so everything should be good. Alright, we'll be back for the sprint. We'll see you in a bit. Ready, hold, go! Who's going to get it into turn one? We are not away yet. Finally away, and a perfect start from the McLaren there. What a shame for many drivers. That's going to be a safety car, and it will be a big lobby issue. Okay, drive-through penalty for quite a few drivers right there. I don't reckon the lights went out in an orderly fashion. I think quite a few people had some issues. Not entirely sure what that was. Apologise. Just going to quickly have a look at something. I think we might have to go for a restart after that one. I do apologise, everybody. Okay, we will quickly go for a short break while we get the lobby sorted again, and then we'll be back in a bit. Ready. Hold. Go! Who's going to get it into turn one? We are finally away for the second time. We're not away. We are still waiting to go. And then we are finally, hopefully...
Are we
Safety car.
going?
We're not going. We're all stuck on the grid. This is a classic old bug. Lovely jubbly. Apologies, everybody, for this. We are finally away, and we are going to continue. So I do apologise for this. No one has... jump the start, which is always good. We're gonna quickly just make sure we sort some things out, so I do apologise, but we are gonna continue. So I will do this. Sorry for the delay. Okie dokie. And then one more little thing. Try and sort this out as we need to. Sorry.
A bit of confusion there. Just people trying to slot back into position after a legal overtakes the front of the grid's fine. Mark Merckx, Skies, I think it's Cookie Monster as well, who's disconnected, which has caused people to be a bit messed up towards the back of the grid. But I think for the most part, the positions are as follows.
Lovely. Hopefully that is the only disconnect. I believe it is. Other than that, we should be all good. Devon leads the way. Just trying to double check just to see if the grid has changed much at all. It doesn't seem that it has. Maybe a little bit. I think Dilly Ding has dropped the back a little too far, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to continue and hope that this gets fixed at some point soon. We won't be going racing at the end of lap 1. We'll be going racing at the end of lap 2. Doubt anybody will go into the pit lane, so we will just continue, and everybody's just going to be able to save their ERS a little bit, save their tyres a little bit, and get a rolling start. Zingy, would you say a rolling start is probably better, or would you say you wouldn't really like a rolling start?
Reaction wise, I wouldn't really like it because it kind of ruins the immersion of the start, the intenseness of just being able to fly down towards turn 1. You know, there's not really much questioning when it comes to a rolling start, because if the guy who's leading the safety car restart is competent, even the slightest bit, he's going to lead into turn 1. Further back, it might be a bit more mixed up, especially with people not reacting to what's happening in front of them. But I think, for the most part, I think things are going to stay as they are for the moment.
Lovely. Alrighty, that will be interesting to see how it runs very, very shortly. It's going to be overcast later on towards the end of this race. That will cool down everyone's tyres. It will allow them to push a fair bit. They've got to make sure that they try and keep the tyres up to temperature though, so if you are following a car closely behind, it might help out. That being said, if you are in clean air, it's probably good enough of an advantage. Anyway, safety car extending track limits. They've got to be careful with that one, otherwise they will be getting a drive-through penalty. I heard that they get some severe penalties if they do extend track limits. Sorry, just a little joke there. I do apologise. If I was maybe getting sidetracked. Okay, we're just waiting for that confirmation to yet again go racing. There is the confirmation. Safety car in this lap will be racing on lap 3 out of 11. It is going to be a hell of a sprint race. Everybody's going to be running in their kind of casual positions. It's going to be Beckon to react to Devon Young. The safety car has got 2 more corners to go, and then we will be able to go for that restart. Is he going to try and hold everybody up to the last few moments, or is he going to go nice and late? We will see. He's not going too early, so he's going to the final corner. We're leaving the final corner. He's not gone for the restart just yet. Still waiting. trying to catch the two McLarens out and coordinate with his teammate, and he goes. Very, very good job. Here comes Oggio getting a perfect run. Doesn't overtake before the line, but he's going to be side by side. He might be able to get in front of the second Red Bull as well. This could be perfect. He's not quite going to have a look, but he will still be there for Robbo. He's not going to be able to get the job done. There's cars off in the background. I don't know who that was. I think it was just a little bit of a sideways moment. Onto the inside, Oggio still trying to keep it. He backs out. He's going to let it go through, but he's completely duped the McLaren. The McLaren tries to slot back in to not be threatened by the Aston. Here comes Tom Brainer. A perfect move from him, and now it invites the Williams on board.
Yeah, Monk tried to look for the move, but Tom Brainer absolutely sent it down the inside of the Aston Martin Peanuts, and it looks as though on that soft tyres managed to fire it up nice and quickly, and he's going to be looking at the back at Robbo, who not only lost the position to the Red Bull Oggio due to a perfectly coordinated restart, but here he goes down the inside. A bit of contact has made the McLaren has to go off and take the 3 seconds. I'm sure that will be removed later on, but due to all this, Peanuts is going to come back at Tom Brainer. He's going to slot down the inside. Who's going to go where? It's a bit of a kerfuffle going on here. Tom Brainer goes right around the outside of Robbo, and that's up into P4. Robbo down into P5 with a 3 seconds, unfortunately, and now he's going to be under pressure from the Aston Martin and Monk, the Williams.
Might be able to get it removed for points-wise later on, but it will affect his starting position for the main race. Unfortunately, nothing we can do about that one. That is the Aston Martin having to take it the long way round. They will continue to go side by side. There's a car taking a straight line, and that will be Monk going down the order. I don't know what happened there. He's tried to rejoin, and he's made a big bit of contact, and the virtual safety car's deployed.
Yeah, Oggio just before that actually has done a fantastic move on Beckham. I think it was down the inside, and he just managed to get the run on him after compromising the McLaren's exit, and that is now a Red Bull run too. But I know it's a VSC, you can see the gap though visually to Devin Young. He's absolutely gone in this race. 5.4, it's fluctuating a bit, but towards the end of this VSC restart, you'll see it's about 3.5 seconds. So Oggio not only getting to second place, but indirectly helping his teammate. Devin indirectly helping his teammate, and same happening with Oggio, and that's allowed them to have a lot of breathing room in this race.
It's going to be unbelievably frustrated, Monk. It is a heck of a shame because he's been in some very good positions in the last season, and he's shown very good pace this season already, even though we're only in round 2. It's just never quite gone his way, and he's had that tangle up. This does mean he'll lose minimal time to the other cars. We are having some delta issues, it seems like. I think it's probably going to end by the time he gets into the pit lane, so it is pretty frustrating. Still got a bit of a way to go, so he can still get a result if he stays in the race. We are just waiting for that restart. Beckham is trying to pounce on Oggio, and it looks like he's done a decent job, but not going to be in a position to overtake just yet.
No, Beckham looking to go for a move back on Oggio, and it looks so further back. Robbo is making a move on. Oh no, it's Cookie Monster. It's a disconnected car. Never mind. Yeah, as I was saying, Beckham looking for that move back on the Red Bull of Oggio, not getting the best of restarts, as you said, and it looks as though he's caught unawares a little bit. Oggio put under pressure, and Devin Young's gone from this race. So it's really the battle for P2. The McLaren of Beckham will be looking for, of course, his teammate having those issues earlier on. He's going to have to solidify some points from McLaren, otherwise it might not be a good weekend at all, and Red Bull might get that advantage early on in the season, and you know that's a confidence killer, especially when there's such a long season ahead of them.
It is tough. It's a longer season than it has been last time. 13 races last season, 16 races this season. There are 2 breaks, so they will get time to relax, of course. That's always good. We've got Skies in P8. He's got a bit of work to do to try and get past that very slippery Mercedes car. Actually, it was Subby who was very slippery in Spain. He's not here today, unfortunately, due to having some issues when we tried to do the restart. Skies actually dropping back a bit before the safety car line, so he will not be able to go for the move. Beckham's going to have a look around the outside, dips a wheel in the grass. Surely he's not going to be able to hold it. He will not, and that is Oggio taking the racing line, reading it perfectly. He gets the job done. That is exactly what you want to be doing, to hold on. And we've got Skies, who has got a very good run, but they're not going to be in a position to actually make an overtake.
Yeah, Sky looks so he's got a lot of paces looking up further ahead. It looks so Tom Brainerd's being pressured by the Aston Martin off Peanuts. Those soft tyres starting to go off now, and this invites Jeremy into the battle for P4. It looks so Oh, Tom Brayner's not got a good exit, and throughout that whole little mini straight, he's had a bit of issues, and that's allowed Peanuts into P4. Tom Brayner defending so much, just enough to keep Jeremy on track, but he has to back out of it. The Ferrari driver's got a lot of pace now that the tyres are starting to wear out. Tom Brayner has nothing left in those tyres. It looks as though he's going to go for the move, but no, Tom Brayner defends very well, and it's only a matter of time before that Ferrari gets past.
Yeah, sliding around, it's just switched completely off. He had a few wheels in the grass, and that caused him to understeer at turn 9, turn 10-ish, so that allowed them to come through. Jeremy tried to force him into a mistake and look for a switchback, just wasn't quite there. Now it's going to be possible for Tom to defend on the straight, which is always really frustrating. Tom's going to try and come back already. Is he going to go for the move, or is he just going to try and have a damage limitation? Damage limitation, it looks like. Becken has gotten past Oggio this time around, so they've done a good job with that. They are kind of trying to lose minimal time, but I think Devon Young's still gone. 4 seconds is the gap. Absolutely immense from him so far. Jeremy is right there, and he's going to try and make the move. He has to do it in the corners, though.
The inside of Bad Monkey into the sort of hairpin corner, and it looks as though he's made that move easily, just diving down the inside, reminiscent of Tom Brayner's move a few laps ago, and that's the Alfa Romeo up into P7, and he looks as though he's got some pace. You can see that he's already within DRS of the next group of cars. Of course, Tom Brayner helping him a little bit via those old tyres, but still, Skies has got some good pace, and he could be with a top 5 start for the feature race if he just manages to keep the car under control, unlike some people who have struggled with track limits and just dealing with the car. And that actually, the other Haas driver of Flexhard, it looks as though he's got some pace in the car as well, and he might be challenging Bad Monkey into turn 1 if he's not careful.
He could do. It's going to be difficult with the DRS. He does go and extend track limits. It's going to be very easy now for Jeremy to make a move on the Haas, as he doesn't have DRS. So he'll get slung shot, and he'll have to try his best to catch back up that time he's lost to the Aston Martin. Any switch up right here, we've got the Mercedes trying their best to get through on the Alfa Romeo, but they will not get the job done. Who will get the job done, though, is Flexard, trying to get the momentum. Looks to the inside, forces the Mercedes on a bit of an awkward line, but doesn't get it quite done himself. Tom Brayner makes mistakes, and he's down to P7.
Yeah, Tom Brayner's tyres are really finished now. Skies is up into P6, 2.5 away from this battle from P4. So I did say that he has a chance of doing well in this race, because his tyres are coming back to him towards the end, and it's happening at the moment. Looks as though he's able to look after his tyres much better than everyone else around him. Bad Monkey is going to be looking for a move next on Tom Brayner. And for Tom, it's just been a downward spiral ever since he overtook Peanuts on that second or third lap. The tyres have just started dying off. It looks as though Mercedes have got the pressure and Flex hard behind with a penalty, of course. Nonetheless, he's rapid at the moment and will be looking for a move. He will get DRS even if he does overtake due to the other cars in front, but he elects not to, and he's just going to stay behind for the moment.
Stay behind for the moment indeed. Tom Brayner loses the car, just about avoids the wall, trying to hold on to the last point. His teammate will go through. He's got a time penalty, so he would still get it, but it kind of worked out there. That is Peanuts and Jeremy switching positions. Jeremy's managed to get that job done, and they're going to try their best to catch up to the cars in front, but there's only a few laps to go in this Grand Prix. Skies, P6, Bad Monkey, P7, and Flexard. He is very close. He's pacey, but he's just got that time penalty. He's going to have to try his best to maybe muscle the other cars out, but no, Tom Brayner, I was going to say you could try and do him a favour and get him maybe in front of the other cars, but they both have time penalties now. It's not going to help. Becken is now getting a time penalty, and it looks like it's going to be somewhat of a straightforward 1-2 for Red Bull.
Yeah, Oggio's putting him under pressure, and he looks as though he's collapsing under it. Oggio has got a lot of pace under that car. He's just been saving battery for the last few laps. He's playing it smart. Becky losing the back end. It looks so just what Flaw had last time out when we raced it last night, and the tyres with the rears especially start to really go off. And coming into the last few corners, will Oggio push, knowing that Becken has these issues in the car? He might as well try and go for it. The ERS is deployed for the Red Bull driver, and going to the right hand side he'll be going as Becken defends a little bit to the inside, but nothing doing there. He's now up into P2, a Red Bull 1-2 once again. Becken's of course got that penalty, but he'd want to finish ahead on track, don't you think?
Definitely. You get the bragging rights. It's always nice to get the job done. on the circuit. Jeremy and Peanut switching positions again as they try and slingshot. This is for the podium now, so they've not only got to fight each other, but they've also got to try and work together more or less to make sure that they do close up enough to Becken. Becken, he is not able to do that good of a job right here as he's trying his best to get back through on Oggio, but he can't quite do it. It's losing them valuable time. Peanuts is looking for the podium. If he can get DRS, he can secure it over Jeremy, but Jeremy's going to be in prime position to get that move done on the DRS straight.
I think Oggio's doing something very smart here. He's thinking of the long run, and he knows that Becken is one of the faster drivers on the grid. And if he's backing him off into the other drivers, however, he needs to watch out that he doesn't get overtaken by the McLaren. He needs to have a good last few corners here. Let's see it from his POV. Manages to extend nicely, and on the last corner again, power down nice and early. However, that McLaren off Becken, he's got a little bit less DRS, but he's got the DRS slipstream and DRS deployed to the max. Which way is he going to go? To the right hand side, the longer way around the Mercedes, the Red Bull's forcing him to go into turn 1. He's going to try and keep his nose in, but Becken swooping right around the outside in turn 1, and that is him up into P2. Of course, he's got that penalty, but if he can finish P2 on track and try and pull away from the rest, he might have a chance at starting perhaps even P4 if he's lucky.
Yeah, that's absolutely perfect. It's all a little bit technical and difficult. That was also Bad Monkey getting past Skies for his race, for the main race starting position wise. That doesn't make much of a difference, but he made a big mistake. Tom Brainer is going to crash into the wall and he will be out of the sprint race at the last few moments. It brings Matt Merckx into the points. Perfect job from him, but what a shame. I do not believe it. We're going to have to go back to the front and see if anything is going to come of it. I think it's still going to be Peanuts on the podium as Becken does his absolute best to extend, but it's not going to be so straightforward. Will he be able to get in front of Jeremy? I'm not quite sure. We're going to go around the final few corners with this man. Devon Young wins the sprint in Imola. What a dominant drive. It's going to be a 1-2 for Red Bull. Becken P3, P4, P5 he will finish with P5 position. That is such a shame for him in the end, but it is what it is. That'll be Skies, Matt Merckx and Bad Monkey with Flexard just missing out on points in the end right there. Robbo getting into the top 10, but it's not a point position in this shorter distance race. That was absolutely mental.
Not even the top 10 for Robbo. JJ nabs it at the last moment by 6:10, so Robbo starting P11. What's happened to him is, I know it's only 2 races, but I know he had the pace, obviously that contact with Devon Young, and now it just seems as though he's lost some sort of form because of that, obviously crashes and that having an effect. But even when he was in clean air, it didn't look like he had any pace.
Yeah, it's very distracting, and maybe he just kind of thought, alright, I'm just going to let this one go, try and relax and make sure he can come back a bit stronger for the main race. It's a longer one. There are more chances for safety cars to bring the field together, of course. He'll get a second life. We've got Devon Young winning the sprint race, Oggio in P2, and then Peanuts in P3. This is the rest of the grid. We're just going to quickly scroll through it a little bit and make sure that we get that down. Lovely jubbly. Race director, as usual, on to the instance section. And then we will go to the pit stops for the final time. Alright, we will be back for the main race. We'll see you in a few minutes. Ready, hold, go! Who's going to get it into turn 1? We are finally away. No safety cars. That's perfect from Devon Young. Oggio managing to do a pretty good job. What the hell was that from the Aston Martin? Going down the field. Absolutely tragic right there from him. On the inside is the McLaren. That's not going to work. That's going to be Jeremy Round. No contact. Luckily, he will not get damaged and he'll be able to continue. Someone has lost a front wing. That's a Haas far on the inside. I don't know what's happened there. There's a big gap between the Haas pass of Flexard as well. The top three are running away a little bit right now, and it's all a little bit squabbly as we go into the hairpin. Who's going to come out on top? It looks like they're somewhat filling in single file, although that is Terence slightly on the inside, but he does eventually find a way. Jeremy, what a shame there for him. Luckily, he's still pretty close, and everybody is also pretty close to one another. JJ goes off the circuit. This is going to allow Official to come through and take that position. New driver, that is damage for JJ, so he must have been the one who lost that wing on the first few corners.
Looks as though Robbo finally making the move on Bad Monkey for P8. It looks as though the Mercedes is struggling on that hard tyre at the moment, perhaps struggling to heat it up in these cooler conditions. It is sunny, but I have seen that it's a bit cooler. You can tell by the clouds actually. I'm talking. Anyway, you see the Aston Martin. Who is that? Is that Peanuts' turn? It is Peanuts going for a move on Monk into turn one. Which way is he going to go, left or right? It looks so he's going to go down the inside using all his battery and better contacts made. Now yeah, George Russell move into the side of the Aston Martin. Thankfully, he keeps on track. They're side by side once again. A bit of a squeeze by the Aston Martin, which is going to allow Terence to maybe make a move, but not at the moment.
Very, very, very close margins. There could have been a severe collision right there, but luckily they will continue. It's going to be Becken and Oggio yet again fighting, allowing Devon Young to break away. He's having an absolute stormer right now in this Grand Prix, loving the circuit. Flexard in P4 watching this battle happen might be able to get in on the DRS train if he can. That would be great to see for him. Skies is also trying his best to stay within DRS of the car ahead. It's not so straightforward. Cookie Monster restarts his Wi-Fi. He's back in the game and he's doing absolutely amazingly. This is perfect. Used to be known as Flying Walker. He's got the new name now and he's further up the grid than ever before. This is perfect. Matt Marks, Matty used to be known as. They're doing a good job in P7 right now. And Robbo got a few positions off the start. That's good to see. Oh, big mistake.
Yep. It looks as though Kiki Monster has made a mistake. Matt Merck's up at the P6. Robbo's going to get the run as well. He's going to be squeezed right to the wall. He's going to get the slipstream off the AlphaTauri and Matt Merck's. But Cookie Monster and in turn one, he'll be able to defend from Rob, but he won't look for the move on the AlphaTauri. But he's made a mistake. He's locked up, going off the track, and that allows Robbo to move up into P7. And now from P6, Cookie Monster's made a massive mistake, and that's him down into P8. He's still got points at the moment, but it looks as though he's understeering, perhaps a bit of gravel on his tyres from the previous corners. Bad Monkey not going for it, but Peanuts is very eager to get back up the order after that absolutely dreadful start. It looks as though he can't make his way through at the moment, however.
Yeah, no, very, very, very slippery with the gravelly tyres. It maybe looks like the softs are just overheating. It is nice and clear weather, which doesn't really help a softer compound. You need a cool track surface, and of course if you've got dirtier as well, it's going to just make it even more difficult. Peanuts is trying to have a look, but not quite close enough right now. Robbo trying to have a look on Matt Merck, so close but not quite able to get there. Flexard already getting a penalty. DRS will be available right now. They might be able to make a move, but no, they're a bit too far back. Oggio I think has also just lost out. No, they did get DRS, but they've had to blast all of their energy to try and get that. Robbo coming through.
Yeah, Robbo going for the move on Matt Merckx, failing the first time due to Cookie Monster getting in the way, but Robbo that's right around the outside of the turn one, showing us how it's done, and that's him up into P6. He's got Sky's just head. His official is retired from the session. Damage on his car. Terence also making the move on Monk for P11. That's the Martin looking to get into the points after a bit of a slow start for both drivers.
Lovely jubbly, bit of lag there for Terence, but hopefully that is it. Other than that, he seems to be somewhat good to go. Monk trying to follow in his tracks on that medium tyre, trying to find traction. I hope he didn't get damage from that side-by-side moment from the other Aston, but yeah, it's not looking so easy. Cookie Monster has found a bit of momentum again. Not finding momentum is Flexard. That allows Robbo and Skies to get through. Robbo already on the back of the Alfa Romeo, now trying to make it a Red Bull and McLaren 1, 2, 3, 4 as it was in qualifying earlier on. It hasn't been so for a while, he is on a real charge. He's trying to make it much better for McLaren and give themselves a fighting chance for the constructors. Leading the constructors right now is Aston Martin. They might have lost it to Red Bull after the sprint. I'm not entirely sure. Here we go. Robbo going to make that move. We've also got Flexard and Matt Merckx looking for a switch up as well. Pretty straightforward for them, and that is going to be Flexard going through.
Yeah, Flexard's staying ahead actually of Matt Merckx and Skies and Robbo doing the old switcheroo. Robbo is now, he's on a charge, you say. Yeah, I did doubt him after the sprint race. I was chatting a lot of rubbish about him, saying that it looks as though he didn't have the pace to be on the top again, but it looks as though he's shutting me up right now, and he is closing that gap to Audio, who, in fairness, was struggling, as we see Matt Merckx and Flexard switch up once again. Matt Merckx looks as though he's going for the move. Nope, Flexard's going to go down the inside. It's a very awkward place to overtake, and it looks as though Flexard has made the move. Matt Merckx won't be too happy with that contact. However, he's on the medium tyres. That doesn't matter when you make mistakes like that, and Cookie Monster is going to be there. Peanuts is also going to have to go for the move for Aston Martin's constructor title hopes at the moment, but he just can't seem to find a way through. Then looks as though Terrence is actually caught to this battle, so this goes from P6 all the way down to looks as though P12.
So difficult when you're close to your teammate. You don't want to hinder them, but you really want to get through. Terrence can't find a way through. They're on equal tyres as well. Cookie Monster is only going to get slower. He's going to still have some pretty good pace, but within a couple of laps, his tyres will drop off. That is going to be Matt Merckx already going on the Alpha, on the Haas. Robbo also losing the position immediately to Skies. Here we go. The Williams to the inside line, sending it on the tyre, trying to make it useful. It's not going to work. It's going to allow the Astons, both Astons, to come through there side by side. It's all a little bit difficult. The Mercedes is going to make it 3 wide, get 2 positions, fight for another, lose out on 1. He's still gained, but there's a bit of contact, and he's now going to lose out to the other Williams instead. What the hell happened there? Just a little bit of forward and back motion. Flexard in the end comes out on front, or up front. The Cookie Monster stays where he is after that. That was incredible.
Yeah, but all this, Matt Merckx has pulled out a 2-second gap to that right behind. It looks as though there's a mistake for the McLaren of Robbo. You can see that Matt Merckx is now back in the DRS range of the McLaren, losing the DRS to Skies. Robbo, I don't know what's going on with Robbo. He just seems to be making a lot of mistakes, perhaps some hardware issues. As I do have the telemetry up, and the braking did look a bit odd there. But this is going to allow Matt Merckx to have a go back into the top 5. Is this only his second race? I don't know, but he's doing very well at the moment. He's challenging one of the title contenders from last season and the season before that as well, Robbo, who's having a bit of issues at the moment, but that doesn't matter to Matt Merckx. If he's going to try and find a way past, it's going to be into turn 1. The DRS is enabled. He's going to back off though. He's going to think better of it. And Peanuts is actually going to make the move. The Williams of Cookie Monster is going to go down the end as well.
That's never going to work. That's going to be a big understeer. Terrence is involved. He's going to lose out. That's also, I don't know who else was involved in that one. I think they've all tried to avoid it other than that. But yeah, hell of a send with the soft tyres against another soft tyre. It's never going to work, and Terrence has been the one to suffer.
Yeah, Cookie Monster made a bit of a mistake there, coming out of turn 3. Those soft tyres obviously not working too well, plus the fact that it'd just been an incident, I'm sure that was. So, well, the soft tyre is clearly not working, and it looks as though there's been a bit of damage for someone. I'm not too sure who, but it's unfortunate for them. They were doing very well to keep it clean up until that point. I think actually Cookie Monster might have a bit of damage. He's also got some tyre issues, as you see, and they spin out once again, and that's going to allow Jeremy out of nowhere to catch up towards the top 10 once again.
Yeah, good to see Jeremy back in it, slowly making progress. It's been a tough one so far. Terrence, does he have damage? He does. So yeah, bit of a clart that he ended up getting, and it's not really the way he wants it to go, so such a shame. He's on the hard tyre as well, so this early on having an instant is not going to work. 2.6 seconds is the gap that Devon Young has to second place, and there is a big gap between Oggio and Becken. There's also a bit of a gap between Skies and Oggio, but Skies is doing a good job, and he's going to be bringing it back. He's on the stronger strategy as well, so this is a very, very good result looking for him right now. Robbo almost losing the car.
Yeah, Robbo. He's really pushing it. He has got the pace. He just needs to watch out not to put it into a wall like Cookie Monster's done a few times. It looks still Bad Monkey has made his way past Flexard finally. Looking further back, Tom Brayna overtaking Terrence, who's actually in the pits for our medium tyre. So he'll be doing the 2-stop this race. I wonder, was it Terence that may have got that damage around?
Yes, it was.
That's unfortunate for Aston Martin off of one last season and some good performance, well, a good show of pace in Spain, which led to no results. He's now down P16. Is someone who's down the order also. His flex tire a spin. What do you know? It's another soft tyre runner. So this soft tyre is absolutely rubbish.
Absolutely awful around the circuit with a fair few amount of corners and a fair bit of downforce. You don't really have straights to cool those tyres down, so you're constantly trying to turn, accelerate, brake. It just doesn't work out, unfortunately. Jeremy trying to break into the top 10 with the points. It's going to be very easy, as it is going to be the Williams going into the pit lane fairly early, I would say, compared to what others were trying to do yesterday. But yeah, that is finally him in. 3.5 seconds to the other cars. He's on the hard tyre. He doesn't have damage. He's going to try and make some more progress, see if he can get further up into the points. Matt Merckx close to the car in front. Oggio has lost that position to Skies.
Yeah, Sky's on that, well, as you said earlier on, the better strategies on the hards and mediums in all your comparison that's medium to hards. It looks so those medium tyres now are starting to reap the I have no idea. They're struggling, let's just say that. And speaking of, Skies has been put under pressure from Oggio and he's got a 3-second penalty. And the Bad Monkey's retired. That's a safety car, surely. Yes, on the racing line as well. So everyone behind him needs to be careful. And that is the safety car out for the first time. The first time in their feature race is he flex hard, just having to avoid that Mercedes.
This is going to be a little bit of a short notice moment here for Devon to react. Oggio will be able to also get a pit stop done. Skies is going to be also trying to make a pit stop. Becken will not react. I'll stay out on that hard tyre, which I am interested in that one. Okay, that is Skies not making his mind up until the last minute. Oggio still going into the pit lane. So is Robbo. He's going to go opposite to his teammate. Is he going to go for a double medium?
Well, we're going to see Rob always going to come into the pits. Yes, it is going to be that medium tyre. 22 laps, not including the safety car. I don't know if he'll be able to make it. Percentage-wise, it will be a bit tough. I think you can still make it if you've got a good setup for the tyre wear. I'm not sure, though, because Robbo we have seen low off the back end quite a lot, so he will probably have to come in again, but it will be probably around the lap 25, 26 to whack on that soft tyres to go to the end, and you'll be able to push for that last 5-6 laps and gain a lot of time from it. But will it be enough? Especially with this pit lane, it's what, 27 seconds? That was the gap from myself to Pursuit when I made my pit stop, and we emerged right next to each other. So I think it's going to be a bit tough for Robbo to make something out of this now.
You know what's going to happen? It's definitely going to happen. We're going to get Robbo make a load of moves up early on. We're going to get Devon Young staying out. There's not going to be another safety car. And then on the final few laps, we'll have Robbo losing out on the tyres. He's going to try and defend, but Devon Young's going to be right there. It's going to be another 1v1 between those two, which is to G from the likes of Beck and Skies Jeremy, of course. But it's still not going to be that easy. Devon Young's got a very safe strategy. Robbo's got a very aggressive strategy. So has Peanuts and everybody else who has put those fresh medium tyres on. So yeah, they're going to be struggling towards the very end. They would hope for a safety car. Other than that, I think they'll probably go for the soft tyre. But it's going to be Becken into the pit lane.
Yeah, Becken coming in along with Skies. I don't know why they extended one more lap. That's only going to shoot themselves in the foot even more. Especially Oggio up into P4. I mean, out of the top 4 now, 3 of them are on fresh tyres. So I don't understand why they stay at the extra lap unless they're actually trying to go to the end of the mediums, which I could maybe stretch to understand that, but unless you can think of something, I can't really understand the strategy.
It's going to be so difficult. Devon Young not only got pace, he's got track position, he's got a hard tyre runner in between him now. Only one, so it will make it easier for Robbo to get through. He's also got his teammate just a few positions behind him. They will be communicating. So Devon Young's still in an incredibly strong position, regardless if he doesn't have that perfect tyre. We did see yesterday that the hard tyre worked quite nicely for a lot of drivers compared to the mediums. So although that medium will be nice, it might not be as nice as it should be for that long. That means Devon Young like I said, is in the strongest position. We're not going to be racing at the end of this lap. We'll still go out for one more and then try and get involved if we can.
I've got a question for you, Aaron.
Go for it.
Say Robbo is 6 seconds behind Devon Young with, like, say, 7 laps to go and he pits onto that soft tyre. Do you, as Devon, cover him off, even though he is quite far behind? Or do you just stick it out on those old hard tyres?
Sticking it out. I don't think it's gonna be enough. Devon is in too much of a strong position. That being said, obviously you get hindsight, you're trying to protect your positions, like Lando Norris, Sochi 2021. You've got a good result in your hands, you don't want to let it go, and you try and go for the safer strategy, and it doesn't always work out. So it's definitely one of them, you'll regret it forever if you don't pit and you still lose it, but I think it is just ultimately the safer option to go for.
I'd argue that Devon Young's actually a better driver than Lando Norris, you know that?
Some will agree, some will disagree, and some will get quite upset with that statement. I know that for sure. But Devon Young, I think that's fair enough, to be honest. He's been doing a great job today, pace-wise, almost crashing into the safety car. I don't know if that was a bit of a lag. Would have been a classic Lando Norris moment. But they carry on. They're safe. They are good to go. We've got Terence catching up to the safety car, so we will be going racing at the end of this lap regardless. And once he'll be back up to the pack, that's going to be good to go. Peanuts is in P6 after all of that, so he's managed to do a quite nice job from this safety car. There's a lot of time penalties still, so yeah, that's going to plague things later.
Oh yeah, 10 penalties are going to be a factor, and I'm just going to check race director as I'm sure the safety car will be in this lap. 1 warning for Devon, none for Jeremy. Robbo has 2 already, he needs to be very careful. Ogio has 1, they're right at the top 5, Matt Mertz has 1, so for the most part people are looking at themselves in the top 5. The main man being Robbo on that fast tyre, and I do believe, just before we get started, do you reckon it's easier to get a penalty on the faster tyre or what?
Definitely, you push harder, you will drop off a little bit later and you're going to be struggling towards the end. Definitely it is. Devon Young leads the way. When will he go for the restart? He's got Jeremy behind to react. He's on slightly older tyres. He will have that advantage. He reacts quite nicely a little bit later on to try and cover off that Ferrari later on in the straight so they don't get alongside them. They will not get alongside. Who will get alongside? They're surely going to send it on the brakes is Robbo. He is going to try and get there. That's never going to work. He wasn't far enough alongside. That's going to cause Jeremy to go round. What a tragic moment. Ogio's going to come through. There's going to be a big crash. That's going to be Cookie Monster into the wall. Ogio sticks it to the inside. There's going to be a wheel bang. That's going to be the McLaren off into the gravel. He's going to have to try and cover off the AlphaTauri, who will get involved as well. There's a bit more pushing. There's a bit more shoving. We've got the other McLaren on the inside as Becken comes up the hill.
Yeah, I don't know what Robbo was thinking into turn 1. That was completely idiotic. There was no space at all, and he still dived his nose down the inside, and he's effectively just ruined Jeremy's race there. He had to think about a very weird strategy, and in fairness, he got up to P2, but Robbo, for some reason, I don't know what he was thinking there, and he's just ruined his race. I don't know why. Robbo's a good driver, but I think sometimes like that he just makes a little bit of a mistake, and that's what happens. But he's still got to look forward. He can't dwell on that too much. And with the fast tyres, I do reckon he can still get something out of this, even with a penalty. And speaking of, he's going to go down the inside of Ogio, a bit more disciplined this time, coming out of the last corner. Now he's going to get the better traction, even on the inside. Ogio pushed right up to the pit wall. Hopefully didn't get pushed into it. Oh, it's a bit of almost contact. If there is contact, it might be an absolutely catastrophic instant. And coming into turn 1 now, Robbo surely going to be last in the brakes this time, not wanting to hit him like he done last lap. Oh, it's so close. Ogio still holds it around the outside. This guy's absolutely insane when it comes to defending on the worst tyre. Robbo still trying to look for an avenue past, but Ogio doing an absolutely masterful piece of defending, and that is him still in P2 at the moment.
Looking around the outside to get it on the traction up the hill, it's not going to happen. He's doing a great job as he's always done, and we've got Becken who has just about held on in front of Peanuts. That was a very close battle as well, which we didn't really get to see, unfortunately. But yeah, Robbo, he had a lot of confidence, but not enough. Backed off, then tried to get back in front of Jeremy's rear tyre, and then it just never was going to work. And he tried to do it on Oggio after the virtual restart. He did stick a nose in, and luckily Oggio, although probably didn't need to give space because he wasn't far enough alongside, did leave space, and they lived to fight another day. So it sounds a bit weird, but Robbo basically in that situation needed to be more aggressive. He needed to get further alongside or not at all, and that is going to explain that situation. DRS not available. He's going to be having another go on the slipstream. Oggio making contact with the wall himself there. Surely he's going to tuck in this time.
Yeah, Oggio realises that Robbo's got more pace, and Robbo flying by into P2. Oggio, if he can just stay in the DRS for a few laps, he should be able to regain that place within the next 7-8 laps, due to those obviously mediums going off much quicker than the hard tyre. It looks so Robbo does seem to have the pace, so 6/10 already. He's got a bit more battery. You can see that Red Bull's light flashing. He's done a great job for his teammate Devin Young. And if Devin Young doesn't close this out now, I don't know what he will be doing after this race. Probably cry. He's got it in his hands at the moment. 2.7 to the McLaren. And even if Robbo does overtake, it's still going to struggle towards the end of the race. So he just needs to remain calm. Someone who won't be calm at the moment is Oggio. He's got Becken, well, actually, not anymore, as I'd say. He's got a 3-second 10 penalty, just like the sprint race, and now he's going to be really looking for that move down the inside. He sees the light flashing coming into the penultimate corner. He's going to absolutely dive up the inside, a bit aggressive. It leaves him a bit of more space coming off the exit in respect to him, and just lifts off a little bit, so he's still there. That is fair enough. But coming onto the straight now, they all have DRS, and look at this, it's Peanuts in the Aston Martin going down the inside of Oggio into turn 1. He has no battery left, his tyres are not fast enough at the moment, he's just going to have to slot behind. So Oggio from P2 to P5 on one lap. It's not looking good for the Red Bull, but he just needs to be patient.
Having to consider damage limitation at that stage, Robbo's going to get a 3-second, as you're saying, softer tyre, grippier tyre, but more chances to go over track limits, and that is not exactly what you don't want to see. That is Tom Brainer and Monk switching positions. Monk very, very twitchy on the rear end there. Keeps it in a straight line though, but Tom is through and trying to make that softer tyre work. Matt Merckx is doing his best. He's nice and close to the back of Skies, but he does have the Haas driver so close and looking very racy right now. The top guys though, they are close, and Robbo's not doing a bad job to keep Devon honest, but it's definitely going to allow him to relax with that 3-second. So McLaren, they've got a lot of thinking to do.
Yeah, Becken looks as though he's got a little bit more pace than Robbo at this current moment in time, and I think they might just keep on swapping until they get back up to the Red Bull of Devon, the two McLarens here. You're going to just see that Robbo might just peel off to one side, the right hand side, yes. He's going to allow his teammate Devon to go down the inside into turn 1, no battling whatsoever. He needs to watch it for the Aston Martin of Peanuts, but he won't be going for a move anytime soon. He just wants to wait for these guys to have a little bit of a battle and maybe slip through that way.
Definitely. Good to go. Everyone is good to go. Matt Merckx did not get passed by Tom Brainer. Tom Brainer wasn't able to quite get there. He might be able to get something done in the corners, but the dirty air definitely doesn't help either. And the tyres are starting not to be slower than the hards, but starting to get towards that stage around lap 10. They'll definitely start to get slower compared to the hard tyres. Lots of people trying their best to maintain their position in this race. There's still going to be pit stops to contest with. Maybe not for the hard tyre runners. They're still going to be going a long way into the race on a set of tyres. It will be so tough. Not impossible. The undercut or the extra pit stop could work. It's just whether you want to wait and go for the softs at the end, or if you want to go for the undercut and go for that extra medium. What would you do, Vinny?
Well, honestly, I prefer better tyres at the end, and obviously you're talking about undercuts, but I would rather stay here and just honestly have that fresher tyre. I think towards the end of the race, it doesn't matter if, say, me and you're having a race, you've overcut me by 1.5 seconds. I will have perhaps 2 laps fresher tyres and I will be much faster towards the end of the race. Just because that's how this game works. It's just consistently faster, no matter how you really drive. And speaking of driving, JJ is driving very well to put that Ferrari in a position where he's able to overtake the Haas of Lexard. And now he's going to be looking at Terence, although he has a penalty, he's going to be looking at it on track for some points. JJ's been nowhere this race, really. He has shown a little bit of pace in Spain, remember. He could have won that race and led the championship, but unfortunately things didn't go his way. And now he's going to be looking for that top 10 position. And on that hard tyre, he is on the better strategy compared to most others who are ahead of him. So, can JJ still make race, do you think? I believe so.
Definitely, in qualifying he had good pace, so the weekend is still has potential to be a strong one. It's just needs to find it on these laps, and he does unfortunately get himself a 3-second time penalty. Big mistake there for Terence on the exit, but still a bit of an issue there for JJ on the exit as well, so he'll be safe to continue as he is. I don't think he's going to get any problems from any cars. 6/10 between Robbo and Beckins, 6/10 between Peanuts and Robbo. I don't think they're going to be close enough to switch up. They're just kind of being on their own. They are catching to Devon Young big time though. That is going to be interesting, and it will bring Peanuts into the race because he doesn't have that time penalty. We've got a Williams trying to move to the inside, but they just about back off and avoid contact. They weren't quite close enough. That was a close moment, but Monk wants to try and get in front of Tom Brainer, who has that time penalty.
Yeah, of course time penalties are going to be an issue, but Monk is on the hard tyres at the moment, and as I say, 1 or 2 more laps, and I think that might be time. Matt Merck's making a bit of a mistake on the hard tyres. As I say, they're about to get better. It looks as though everyone's just trying to jinx me this race, but trust me, the hard tyres will get better as time goes on. Matt Merck's, you can see now, in comparison to 5 laps ago, Tom Brainer was all over the back of Matty here. But it looks as though he's just not going to be able to do anything at the moment. He's just struggling on that medium tyre, and we see Tom Brainer really struggling on that soft. And I know that's the softest compound, but will that transfer over to the mediums? Because the mediums aren't entirely like hard either. So do you think he'll struggle?
Definitely. I think he will. Yeah, it's not looking like the mediums are performing maybe as well as they would like. Oggio is close to the back of Skies. They aren't that far away in fairness to the other cars in front. Will Robbo go for the lead or go for the move on his teammate? He will not. We'll go back to this battle further behind. Oggio stays where he is. Matt Max will get overtaken eventually by Tom Brainer, who is trying to get every last little bit out of that medium tyre.
Yeah, it looks so. He's just trying to. I don't know, man. He needs to defend, doesn't he? Tom, he's not really got much to fight for anymore. He's got that time penalty, and Monk's also got a time penalty now, but on that hard tyre, I do expect him to pull away towards the end anyway, so I don't think it makes much of a difference. But yeah, Tom Brainer, like you can see he's struggling. The gap's now 2.6 to Oggio, Oggio's on P6 now. My goodness, sorry, I didn't realise that. Oggio should now theoretically be able to start making those positions up. Maybe now, maybe within the next 2 laps. They're definitely better now, the hard tyre, but I think it's only marginal, and that's why you're not seeing the moves that you expect at the moment.
For sure. Time penalty wise, that is was it Tom Brainer with a 6-second time penalty? I think Flexard also have a 6-second time penalty. There might have been a few 6 seconds as well, but there are mostly 3 seconds. It's almost like the entire grid is on equal, which basically means 3-second time penalties are pointless, but they are as they are. That is going to be a big crash from Terence, and he's going to be out of this race, and that will be a safety car deployed. And just as Robbo was catching up to Devon Young will find a perfect opportunity to fit a fresh set of mediums on. They will all put the mediums on, I assume. There might be a couple that might not have mediums left though.
Yeah, definitely. I think some people might be going on to that soft afterwards and just trying to push and pull away. I mean, if I'm Devon, if you're Devon, let's say, are you going the mediums or softs? Because I feel as though, yeah, the softs are quick, and so is Devon. We've seen the pace, even when the medium tires are faster. He did actually pull away towards 3 seconds at one point. But does he take that risk, go softs, push away 3-4 seconds, and then you'll see that gap slowly go down, or do you just put it into the mediums?
Mediums all the way. Mediums all the way. It's not going to happen any other way. He's got to stick to it. He can see his pace relative to a slightly faster tyre, so if the other cars did go for the softs, which knowing Robbo, I think he probably would go for the soft tyre. they will know that they don't have that bad pace despite being on a harder tyre, so they will go for the mediums, I am sure. They've got to get it done. It is going to be very unfortunate for the likes of Beck and Robbo because they will split up, unfortunately. There is a little bit of a gap between them, but you've got to be very careful with that. You don't want to get yourself a penalty. They all go into the pit lane quite conservatively. There's no point of speeding right here. Oggio and Devon also might trip over each other here.
Yeah, obviously teammates are going to have a bit of an issue. Beckon only now exiting the pit lane, having to hold for the other cars. Will we rejoin P5, P6, P5? So he has lost 2 positions in the pit lane to Peanuts and Skies, respectively. And Oggio didn't actually get held. I'm surprised because even with the gaps being so high, well, Aaron, you know that the pit lane are absolutely ridiculous. The pit crew just can't seem to get a car changed and gone on time, apparently. But no, so Oggio's not lost any positions there. On that soft tyre, he's going to be looking to make some moves earlier on. So is Beckon and Peanuts. In fairness to Peanuts, I understand their strategy because if he is on the soft tyre, he'll want to get past the time penalty runners. And if he can just stick to Devon Young for the most part without getting a penalty, he's on for a P2. I don't think he thinks that he's got the pace for the win today, though. I think he doesn't. I think he believes that P2 is the best he can get.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Lots of people going on the soft tyres, which I'm interested to see. Jeremy will be able to get back into this race after their issues earlier on. Dilly Ding going for the most interesting strategy of them all. Didn't go into the pit lane for some reason. I don't quite understand why they did that. They might be waiting a little bit later. Hopefully for their sake, the safety car doesn't come in this lap.
I think the safety car might not, depends on whether Cookie Monster will catch up to that invisible delta of the safety car. It will be like, I want to say 5 seconds or something like that. And if he does make it within the next few seconds, the safety car will come in, but it needs to be quick. And people need to, everyone needs to be prepared just in case it does come in right at that last moment. Let's see now. I'm not sure if it is coming in. Yeah, I think it's most definitely going for another lap.
Dilly will be saved, but is he still going to go into the pit lane or just try and hold on? Maybe he's trying to hold on in front of the other time penalty runners, but no, he will go into the pit lane and look for a softer tyre. So his tyres will be good to go to the end. Jeremy, interestingly, doesn't go into the pit lane for a fresher set. I would kind of think maybe if you're at the back of the pack, you might go for that extra freshness. Just like brushing your teeth, basically. But no, he doesn't go for it. Brushing his teeth is Dilly, and he will put that soft tyre on.
How many times do you brush your teeth a day, Aaron?
Twice.
Twice?
Yeah. Always.
I don't brush my teeth.
He brushes his teeth with pizza. The delivery man is back. Sorry, guys, I don't mean to make an outrageous comment there. I do apologise.
I'm so offended,
for my actions. Devon Young leads the way. Robbo P2, Peanuts in P3. No time penalties for P1 and P3. So they're going to be fighting as best as they possibly can and hoping others don't get involved. Peanuts is going to have to be super aggressive on the restart. And we have seen him be fairly aggressive, this season already. They've done some pretty tidy but pushy moves, and with that tyre they will be able to get the job done, but they have to get it done sooner rather than later. Hope that the other guys fight so they can break away DRS range, otherwise it's going to be pretty much game over. With only one DRS zone available, it makes it so difficult to actually hold on with worst tyre towards the end of the Grand Prix. It makes it very difficult to defend. Devon Young will be the one to yet again go for the restart. He's been leading the entire race. Can he maintain that, or is it going to be taken away? In the last few stages, we will be going racing yet again for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. The safety car comes around the final corner. When will Devon Young go for that restart? And McLaren is going to be the one to react. Robbo finding himself in P11 at the start of this race. He's now in P2, not going for it yet. And then he will finally go for it, and catching him off guard. Absolutely mega right there. Peanuts gets the jump. He's going to be right there. He's going to have to tuck in. They're lagging. He's tucking in so far that he's basically inside Robbo right there. He's going to be on the inside line. He's not going to quite get it. Robbo takes the racing line rightly, taking not the racing line as Becken. Skies will get through. He's also going to get swamped by Oggio.
Oggio going around the outside of Becken, coming into the chicane now, the Villeneuve chicane. It looks as though he's going to get the move done. Into P5 he goes now, a bit of a push onto the gravel, but Oggio tries to give him as much space as he can. It looks as though Tom Brainer is going for the move around the outside of Monk, coming into the fast left-hander now. He needs to back out, surely. There's a one-lane corner only, and yeah, he does. That's him up into P8. Is it? Oh, Tom Brainer going for a gap that clearly wasn't there, and nearly crashing with Matt Merckx, who's had a great race at the moment, but it could have almost ended catastrophically if Tom Brainer just kept his toes in a little bit longer.
Lots of people trying to use ERS already, sending it to the inside as Flexard on the Ferrari. As you can see with Jeremy, JJ is not going to come out on top of that one. Jeremy's going to try and get through on that softer compound, and I think JJ's going to let that one go, but he can't let it go too much because he's got Cookie Monster trying to get every kind of move. There's more contact again. Dilly is going to have a little bit of contact as well. Devon Young leads the way. Peanuts sits in P3, not close enough to make a move though. Bit too far back for now.
Oggio going right around the outside of Skies, and Becken's also just followed him right through. It's like a train there with the McLaren and Red Bull working together. I'm sure Oggio won't be too happy seeing his arch rival Becken this race get past the Alfa Romeo that he was hoping would hold him up, but no, it looks as though Becken's actually going to go to the inside. It's a far too shallow line. Becken's not going to get the traction, and those Skies is going to be putting them under pressure once again.
That was a scary move. Barely made the corner, and had to back out big time, locking up the rears to get the car rotated. So very, very lucky to get away with that one. The top three are running away. This might allow Robbo to break away from time penalty range and maybe secure that podium if it continues this way. But Peanuts, he's not doing enough right now. He still needs to do a bit more. I've got to say though, Robbo holding on to Devon Young very nicely. Maybe the fastest man on track right now.
I just want to say, remember what happened at Spain last time when these two had a bit of a clash?
Don't say it.
I have a feeling, after what Robbo done earlier on, that there might be cause for another crash here. And I know Devon and Robbo don't have the best friendship at all, but that doesn't matter right now. We're going racing. It looks as though Robbo taking his time, however, coming into turn one, but someone who's not taking his time is Becken. What a move! Right around the outside, clean, right around Oggio, like he wasn't even there. I know Skies is going to go for the move. Oggio moving a bit too late, blocking the Alfa Romeo. Bit dangerous, as it looks like the Alpha Tauri of Matt Merckx is finally getting to this battle, but he's still getting under pressure from Tom Braden, who seems to have actually fixed his tyre woes. Those soft tyres actually kind of working for more than 2 laps for once.
Yeah, doing a very good job. Almost ending his race. It was very, very close. We've got Monk also ending his race almost on the grass right there. It's very, very difficult. And when you do get a bit of grass on your tyres, you're going to get a mega amount of oversteer. Luckily for him, he's got no one too close behind. Jeremy is trying his best to catch, and he is in the points at the moment. And he's within the penalty range, so he will be able to get a pretty decent advantage. Flexard trying again to get an overtake done into the chicane, but it will not work out for him. Tom Brainer losing out to Monk after a bit of a mistake right there, and it is going to be yet again lots of drivers close together. Robbo in P2, Peanuts is stuck. Robbo's going to have a look at P1 though. This time around they're going to go to the outside line, no energy, and that's going to be Devon Young letting him go, but he will see that there is no energy in that McLaren. He's going to be loving life. It just depends if that clean air is going to allow the McLaren to show their true pace.
Well, I heard from Tez Korsman, Flaw, or some other people might know him as, that following behind in our cars easier, not obviously because of the dirty air, but it allows you to relax. You get a little bit of slipstream, you save battery a little bit, and yes, the tyres get a bit hotter, but you can just kind of go that guy in front's pace rather than going your own, which is a bit easier for some people than others. And Devon Young doesn't even need to panic that much. He knows Peanuts is going to fall off within the next couple of laps. We've seen that soft tyre absolutely die off, and it looks as though Devon's got some fantastic pace behind. I think this is going to be it. It's just going to be back and forth between these two for the next few laps, unless Devon might want to pull away, or perhaps, like Oggio done in the last race, hold up Robbo and get him a worse position than what he would have done.
Yeah, it's basically impossible. The time penalty for one driver, the tyres are worse for the other, and the DRS train's kicked in, so basically Peanuts has got to save and then absolutely send it. Will Devon go for the move? He is actually going to go for it. I'm surprised he's taken that risk, to be honest. That 28 out of 32, he's still got a fair few to go, so yeah, he still wants to get ahead on track. Robbo's trying to get in front and then hope that Devon Young gets a penalty in the dirty air, which is very, very possible. But we will find out, of course. Time will tell how that one goes. Becken on his own in no man's land, and that's Oggio in front of Skies, but these guys fighting has caused them to drop back quite far. Sorry for all the zoomed in camera angles. We don't really have a choice for that one, but there are a few battles going on further behind as well. We've got Tom Brainer who's trying to catch back up to Matt Merckx, but Matt Merckx and Skies, they're only going to get quicker at the very final stages of this race.
Yeah, Oggio, he done a good job for his sprint and feature race. Don't get it twisted. This guy's been very good to his teammate this whole race and has allowed him to have an opportunity to win. Don't get me wrong, Devon Young's also done very well. He's done all he can do for his teammate, but now he's going to be swarmed by the two medium runners of Skies and Matt Merckx. Matt is showing some great pace this race. Maybe not the fastest on track, but the consistency from him is very impressive. Someone who's not consistent at the moment is Skies, making a bit of a mistake coming into out of the last corner now. He's going to get the DRS. It's not going to be too difficult, I imagine. Oggio using the remainder of the battery, but I mean, yeah, there's nothing's going to happen there. He's just going to be overtaken by not one, but two cars into turn one. It's not embarrassing. It's just that he's struggling on the tyre, which is understandable. Oggio doing as much as he can do, but he just needs to solidify this P7 now.
So difficult on these tyres, and it's also so difficult for Jeremy, who was catching up a lot, but now he can't. The DRS strain is pretty severe around this circuit because you just have that really long straight. Making a mistake is Becken, so he's going to be careful that he doesn't lose out to Skies because he will be catching up. They are both on the same time penalty range, I believe. Matt Merckx, though, is going to be the one to take the advantage on both of those positions and look at a P4, which would be brilliant for his championship. Of course, that is Devon Young, so close to the back of the McLaren. Peanuts is also close. He's still looking at a P2 as of now. Not really going to be what he wants to settle for. He's got to hope that Robbo and Devon have a bit of a scuffle, which will allow Peanuts to get through. But really, you know, Devon, if he thinks about it, he's just got to make sure that he makes that final move at the final moment. But Peanuts is going to be in a phenomenal position. I do not understand how that has happened. It always seems to go Peanuts' way, and it is going to be on track now after all. Between these two, for P2, Devon Young and Robbo, the stakes are higher, even though they're going to be in worse positions. Matt Merckx gets in front of Skies in the meantime. Skies making mistakes, and Oggio might have a go.
Yeah, Oggio looks as though he's got a second burst of life. Seeing that mistake from the Alfa Romeo, he won't be able to make a move at the moment, but perhaps with him losing the car over and over and over again like he did in the last lap, Oggio might have a chance to make that move, but Devon Young actually had the opportunity to win, no bother whatsoever, and he's just thrown it away. Well, he's not thrown it away per se, but he's given it right back to Robbo, and now the ball's in his court, and now he's got the chance to have his first win of the season after showing a poor race in the sprint. Peanuts, of course, will get it on track unless he also gets a penalty. Let me just check quickly. Peanuts is on 2 warnings. No, yeah. It says 3 warnings, but I presume he's on 2. So Peanuts also needs to be careful, otherwise, well, it's all back to normal.
He doesn't need to worry. It's that final corner that seems to be getting everyone. He hasn't got long to go. Robbo, will he be able to challenge? He saved a few percent of ERS to give himself a bit of a life at the end of this race, but other than that, he's only got one opportunity to really get the job done. All these guys are staying as they are, not quite able to get any moves. So yeah, everybody's kind of in a similar situation, trying to save the ERS for the final opportunity. That does mean that Oggio is probably going to be in a bit of a struggling situation. Skies is going to be loving this because, I say that, he was going to be loving it because Matt Merckx doesn't have ERS, but he just goes and gets himself a time penalty. Tom Brainer and Oggio.
Yeah, these guys can side by side once again, same tyres, so nothing between them, and Oggio manages to keep the position. Tom Brainer gives him a little tap that forces him off track. Once again, Tom Brenner's got 9 seconds of penalties, so I don't know why he is battling this. Maybe just for pride. Oh my goodness, he's been absolutely smashed off track by a Monk. He just didn't expect him to break that early, but Monk going in a bit hot as well has caused him to lose most of his front wing, and he just can't turn anymore. And that's going to allow Jeremy, who we've not seen since like lap 2, overtaken for P9.
He's going to get some lovely positions towards the end of this race, but we have to look at this now. Here is the final lap of the Grand Prix. Robbo using everything he can. DRS is available, but he's not quite going to get there in the end. Devon Young will hold on for now. This is exactly what he needs to do. Robbo's got to be confident in the brakes. He's got to get a perfect entry and exit into the next few corners. The little S's towards the hairpin. This will be his best opportunity to actually get a move done, but no. Devon Young is just cold as ice. He doesn't make a mistake. He keeps it on circuit. I think that's going to be it. Where the hell is Peanuts? 1.3 seconds. He's backed off massively. He's got to be careful. It's a strategy for sure, but he's got to be so careful. Devon Young, he has got that time penalty, but he's only got it recently, which does mean that he might...
Oh! Robbo's bottled it in the last lap. Once again, making a mistake. Not with another driver this time, but just by himself. He's lost the back end. I don't know what happened there. And Robbo making another mistake. Perhaps throwing away the podium if he's not careful to his own teammate of Beckin coming into the last few corners now. We've got to look at this guy though. He's led the race from start to finish. He's been absolutely dominative this whole Grand Prix. Coming at the last few corners now, it's going to be Devon Young who wins the Emilia Grand Prix, but it's going to be Peanuts on track who actually takes it. My apologies. Robbo, will he manage to get that P3 just about? Will anyone behind him take it? Doesn't look like it. Matt Merckx up into the top 5, Oggio P6. Jeremy somehow manages to get a P7 after all of that. Skies, Tom Brenner and Monk round at the top 10.
What a race. Up and down everywhere. That was a crazy one. Peanuts yet again winning a Grand Prix, but I have to tell you, 0.7 seconds, that's a lot closer than it needed to be. He was being so safe, I reckon. That's probably why he was trying to do it, unless those tyres were really that bad. But it was so much closer than it needed to be. Devon Young's still going to be somewhat happy with that one. I'm just so disappointed for Robbo. He tried his absolute best, but it didn't work out. The McLarens will get P3 and P4, and they will be able to, I believe, if not take the championship lead, jump in front of Red Bull, stay in front of Red Bull if they're not already. But yeah, Aston Martin, I think they might have just done enough with Peanuts taking another win. He might be able to actually secure the Constructors yet again after round 2.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see after all of it's tied up. But yeah, that is an incredible win for Peanuts, keeping it nice and clean. With Devon Young getting a podium after leading for all race. And he got the penalty in the last minute, and Robbo obviously having that spin, going from P11. It could have been P2, but he made that mistake and almost lost it to his teammate. You can see the rest of the top 10 there. We'll just go for the instants and pit stops, and we will be back in a few moments' time.
Do apologise, we're going to go for the instance now. I didn't quite get the results until just then. Scroll through, there's a lot of these to go through, as it is Emilia. And then the pit stops as usual. Alrighty, we will be back in a bit. We will see you shortly for the post-race interviews. Hello everyone and welcome back to the post-race interviews of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. That was a crazy one. Devon Young, I don't know what to say. It was looking so good. And then that fateful moment just over the white line. Can you take us through it?
Yeah. Yes, it's a shame to lose that way, but I mean, I think overall from the race, you can kind of like, I can be happy with it, you know, like leading most of the race and, you know, the sprint. So honestly, like, I feel like I should be annoyed, but for some reason I'm not. Like, I don't mind losing to like a flawless Peanuts, you know. Peanuts. I said that a bit weird then. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like he didn't get a pen, man. The game's the game. I mean, I had one warning up until like about 5 laps to go, and then I just managed to bottle it completely. But no, it was honestly a fun race, other than the fateful moment, I suppose.
Fair enough. I mean, it was intense. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It was crazy. The next race, Austin, low traction. Track limits are also very difficult there. Do you think you can get on top of it for next time?
Yeah, I think I really like Austin. Yeah, like you say, it's quite track limit heavy, I suppose, but it's definitely a track that I play. Well, I race like, I wouldn't say a lot because I don't really race any track a lot, but I mean, like it's a track I enjoy. I guess if you put it against Imola, considering I only did my first lap in yesterday's F1 qualifying, like I do a lot more than that in Austin. So I mean, hopefully the track limit shouldn't be too much of an issue there. But I'm quite looking forward to that race.
That's great to hear. If you're as strong as you were today and you have more practice in Austin, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Um, yeah, bottle job.
Thank you very much. Great effort, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. And we move on to Flexard. Flexard, that was a crazy one. Couple of sends into the chicane, it looked like. Didn't quite work out, but can you take us through it?
Yeah, so basically I didn't had any time to do some preparing, so I just went in completely unprepared. Yeah, well, qualifying wasn't the greatest, but still in the race, I somehow managed to end up on P4 after the first lap, but obviously I couldn't hold it up, and so I feel like I received some dive bombs into turn 1, but I don't know. I didn't saw the other POVs. Yeah, but still, I there wasn't much to be looking forward to today. But still, I had some fun, of course. But in the end, of course, with 12-second penalty to do track limit, there was nothing to lose. And yeah, in the end, I enjoyed it still.
Fair enough. Good to hear. I guess you can move on, and bad races only make good races great races. So, Austin, do you think you can do, or do you like that circuit if you can make it, of course?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't really have an opinion on Austin. I think it produces some great races. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next week.
Awesome. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Track limit heavy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. Well done today. Great
Cheers,
effort.
mate.
Thank you. And we move on to Oggio. Oggio, right up there as a Red Bull 1-2 in the sprint, but in the main race, it was just so difficult. You're right in the thick of it.
Yeah, it was a tough race, but the reason I dropped off so much was because I forgot my setup, which was a bit sad.
Ah, I see.
And yeah, the safe scars kind of saved me, but I just got collected and lost the DRS because of all the understeer with the bad setup.
Yeah, that's tough. That is tough to take. Do you think you could have maybe got a podium, maybe even fighting your teammate today if you did put the setup on?
Yeah, I probably could have fought for peanuts, honestly, but at least get a podium because of all the pens.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. It's such a shame, but thank you very much for some great racing and some very crazy defending. That was awesome from you. Austin, do you like that circuit?
Austin's a nice circuit.
Yeah. Do you think you can do well there? Do you think you can maybe go for a win?
Maybe not a win, but probably a podium, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Fun but sad.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort. And we move on to Peanuts. Peanuts, I know what you're going to say. It was pure luck, but you were there when it counted. You can't just win races like that all the time and it be luck. You've done it. Can you take us through it?
So the beginning, I had a steering wheel disconnect, or not disconnect. Sorry, I had a steering wheel where my force feedback wasn't really complying. So great start. I think I went down to like second to last or 11th below. I don't really know. I don't remember. I was mad. Is the thing. But I persevered. I tried my best, and at the end, I'm not gonna lie. I had a good opening race that I was just super content with finishing the race P2. So I didn't even try anything on the top two because I know that Robbo had 3 seconds, and I knew anything could happen at the end. So I was just like, as long as I stick with them, I'm content and get the P2.
Fair enough. I mean, it worked out in the end. You've done it again. Can I just ask, what happened on that final lap? Did you back off or did you have an issue? Because it was a
No,
fair bit closer than it needed to be.
the thing is, I fully backed off. Like I backed off before even the last lap. If I would have gotten one more warning, I would have gone 3 seconds, and then I wouldn't have gotten the win. So I just fully backed off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Very strategical, very technical, tactical, I should say. Thank you very much. Austin, do you like that circuit? Traction is very difficult there. Time penalty wise, it seems to be a benefit for you. So do you think you can do well?
I think I could do well, but I don't really know if I'm going to be in the lead train. It's so many unknowns with Imola and Austin, which it's hard because I would say that I would believe I would be last, but I mean, clearly I'm not.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you very much. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Harder than it should have been. Okay, that's more, but
That's absolutely
harder.
fine. Thank you very much, Peanuts, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we move on to Terence. Terence, that's not the way you want to do it. You were in the battles a fair bit, to be honest. You had a lot of entertainment, and it wouldn't have been easy that late at night. But, sorry, I've just seen something in the chat, and I've been very distracted. Yeah, that's a tough way to end the race. Can you take us through it?
Yeah, absolutely, because I'm not good in Imola. And also I lots of focus because I messed up my sleeping cycle, so maybe how I need to improve the next race.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you think if you can get some more sleep, you'll be good at Austin?
Yeah, I think so because and also because Kota is a track that on my favorite, so yeah, let's see what can I done.
Yeah, I mean, if you can have Kota as a circuit that you like, you'll automatically have an amazing advantage. So that's great to hear from you. One last question: how would you describe your race in 3 words?
Bad throttle.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort, and yeah, hope it goes well next time.
Okay.
And we move on to Tom Brainer. Tom Brainer, that was another crazy race as well. All in the battles like Terence was. Soft tyres at the end. Do you think that was the right call?
Yeah, the soft tires were definitely the right call. Just lost the focus completely after the sprint race. Because I've got zero grip at all.
Mm.
And then had to start at the back for the main race.
Yeah.
On lap 2, I've got to pit because my controller had zero battery anymore, or like near to zero battery, because my force feedback went off,
Mm.
and I had to change the controller. Luckily, got the safety car to get back in reach. Was just unlucky with getting through the field. Cause I've got more wings than the other cars.
Mhm.
And at the end, I was just hoping to get some points.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's tough. It's how it goes. Austin, do you like that circuit? Do you think you can do well there if you can get some time on the circuit?
Yeah, I definitely like it more than Imola. But I don't know if I will be so much better than today, because I think the other guys are quicker than here. And the factor of the time penalties can put me more back than I would like to. And I'm just hoping to have a better result than this in last race, and a result where I can be happy with.
Fair enough. Don't give up hope. Thank you very much, Tom. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
No grip anywhere.
Thank you very much. Great effort, great racing, and we'll see you next time. And we move on to Cookie Monster Walker, Flying Walker. He's got every single name in the book. Welcome back. That was a crazy race. You had some great pace in the middle of it, looking for some great moves, but it just didn't quite work out for you in the end.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, I had a bit of bad luck with the safety car because it just came out after I pitted. And after the safety car, I just spun into the wall. It was kind of shit. And towards the end, I was hoping for some points through penalties or something, but that didn't work out. And yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. But first race back regarding no internet issues, of course, in the main race. Do you think Austin will give you a great opportunity? Do you think you can get some good points there?
Maybe points, but I don't think it's going to be very good.
Fair enough. Not your favourite circuit then?
Definitely not.
Fair enough. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Could have been more.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort, and it's good to see you back. And that's been it. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. We'll see you next weekend for the Austin Grand Prix, the USA Grand Prix, COTA, whatever you want to call it, America if you must. Thank you very much again. We'll see you next time. Good night.